Attention passionate Dallas, Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Dallas, Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Hold on to your hats because what's being whispered around league circles right now could really shake up the NFC East. And it's all centered around a potential blockbuster trade involving Roquan Smith. Yes, Roquan Smith, the star linebacker from the Baltimore Ravens, might soon be wearing a Dallas Cowboys jersey. And trust me, this isn't just some rumor. It's an explosion waiting to happen. The NFL universe is buzzing about this possibility, and if it comes to fruition, it could redefine the balance of power in the division and give the Cowboys a serious boost heading into the stretch run of the season. Let's set the scene. The Ravens, sitting at 8-5 and fighting tooth and nail in the AFC North, are in a bit of a cap crunch. With a hefty $9.4 million in cap space tied up, and the team looking to make some moves for the future, they're exploring options that could give them some financial relief. Baltimore is also in the market for extending some of their young stars, like safety Kyle Hamilton, and with their roster already pretty loaded, they're considering whether to prioritize cap space or keep key players like Smith. The idea behind trading Roquan isn't just about cap relief, though, it's about acquiring draft capital. Rumors suggest the Ravens are open to parting ways with Smith in exchange for a first-round pick, possibly a third-rounder in 2026. That's a significant haul, and it signals how much they value the future and roster flexibility. For the Cowboys, this potential trade is a golden opportunity. Dallas is currently sitting at 6-7, a bit behind in the NFC East after a recent trade of Quinnen Williams, and fans are eager to see the team strengthen its defense. The Cowboys' defense has been solid, but it's clear they need that extra spark, especially in the linebacker core and pass coverage. Roquan Smith, at just 28 years old, could be a game changer. He's a linebacker who's not just about stopping the run but also excels in coverage and making big plays. Think about how he'd fit alongside Micah Parsons. Those two could form one of the most formidable linebacker duos in the league. The Cowboys, with their current approach, are looking for a leader in the middle of the field, someone who can make tackles, drop into coverage, and be a vocal presence on the defense. Smith checks all those boxes and would immediately elevate their run-stopping ability, which has been a concern, especially against teams with strong rushing attacks. Now, let's talk about what Roquan Smith brings to the table because his stats and reputation speak volumes. Over his career, he's amassed over 200 tackles, with around 850 of those being solo tackles, which shows his consistency and nose for the ball. Add to that 25 sacks, 120 tackles for loss, 45 pass deflections, 15 interceptions, and 10 forced fumbles. That's a well-rounded playmaking linebacker who impacts every phase of the game. His PFF grade has hovered around 85, which is elite, and his overall AV score is 78, reflecting his high level of play. In 2025, despite some injuries, he's still been a force on the field, playing 13 games with 112 tackles, including 72 solo, along with 8 tackles for loss and 3 sacks. His ability to read plays, shed blocks, and make tackles in space makes him a perfect fit for the Cowboys' aggressive, versatile defense. This move would also echo the impact of legendary linebackers like Ray Lewis in Baltimore. Smith is a maestro on defense, capable of rallying the troops and setting the tone for the entire unit. Think about the kind of impact he could have in Dallas, especially with Micah Parsons drawing so much attention from offenses. Opposing offenses would have a nightmare trying to scheme around that duo. Plus, Roquan's presence would help the Cowboys clamp down on the run, an area where they've been vulnerable at times, and improve their third down efficiency by dropping deep into coverage and forcing turnovers. His skill set aligns perfectly with what Dallas needs to take the next step, especially as they eye a deep playoff run and ultimately a shot at another Super Bowl. Of course, any trade involves some risk and questions about durability. Roquan has had some injuries here and there, including a shoulder strain that cost him a game in 2025, but overall, he's been remarkably reliable. The Ravens, on the other hand, are shopping him partly because they're wary of their salary cap and want to build for the future, especially with Lamar Jackson's contract negotiations looming. They're eyeing draft picks and youth, and in that regard, acquiring future assets makes sense for Baltimore. For the Cowboys, this isn't just about adding a star linebacker. It's about making a statement, showing that they're ready to go all in on a championship push. Adding Roquan Smith would send a message to the rest of the league that Dallas is serious about contending now. It could also inspire the locker room, bringing in leadership and a winning mentality that the team has been building toward. And with Smith's ability to cover tight ends, drop into zone, and make plays against the run, he's exactly the type of player that can elevate a defense that's already improving but needs that final piece to become elite. Now, let's imagine the impact on the NFC playoff picture. The Cowboys' Super Bowl odds, which currently hover around plus 8,000, would likely plummet to something more favorable. Think around plus 3,500 or better. That's a huge boost, and it shows how much a single player can influence the odds and the perception of a team's championship chances. Especially with Smith's proven track record of big plays, he's had multiple interceptions returned for touchdowns and has been a consistent force in clutch moments. His ability to force turnovers and make critical tackles in the playoffs could be the difference-maker Dallas needs to finally break through and reach Super Bowl glory again, something Cowboys fans have been dreaming about for decades. Additionally, bringing Roquan into the fold would allow the Cowboys to be more flexible on defense, rotating players more effectively, and giving Parsons even more freedom to rush the passer or drop into coverage. It's about creating a defense that's adaptable, aggressive, and relentless, something that has been a hallmark of championship-winning teams in the past. Roquan's leadership qualities, his work ethic, and his high football IQ would make him a natural mentor for the younger linebackers, like Overshown, helping develop the next generation of Cowboys defenders. This kind of veteran leadership is crucial in high-stakes games, where every play counts and mental toughness makes all the difference. Switching gears, the impact on the division would be felt instantly. The Eagles, Giants, and Commanders are all formidable opponents, but Dallas strengthening its defense with a player like Roquan could push them over the edge. It's about setting a tone, imposing their will on opponents, and establishing dominance in the NFC East once again. Remember, the Cowboys' identity has long been built around a tough, disciplined defense. Adding a player of Roquan's caliber would reinforce that identity and perhaps push them closer to that elusive Super Bowl victory that's been so long in coming. Of course, anything in the NFL is subject to negotiations, cap considerations, and roster moves, but the buzz around this potential trade is real. If it happens, it could be one of those moves that define a franchise's trajectory for years to come. Imagine Roquan Smith roaming the middle of the field, calling plays, setting the tone, and becoming the heartbeat of the Dallas defense. It's exactly the kind of move that could propel the Cowboys back into serious championship contention and keep them in the conversation as one of the league's top defenses. And as fans, we know the importance of making bold moves. The Dallas Cowboys are a franchise with a storied history, and every offseason is an opportunity to chase greatness. This trade, if it materializes, would be a clear statement that the team is committed to competing at the highest level. It's about building a defense that's not just good but dominant, one that can carry the team when the offense hits a rough patch, and that can close out games in January. That's the dream, and it's what Cowboys fans have been dreaming of for decades. So keep your eyes peeled because this story isn't over yet. If the trade goes through, it'll be a game changer, mark my words. The NFC East will never be the same, and the Dallas Cowboys might just have taken a massive step toward reclaiming their place atop the league. This is what we've been waiting for, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Now I want to hear from you, Cowboys Nation. What do you think about this potential move? Is Roquan Smith the piece that takes Dallas's defense to the next level? Would you be happy to see him in the star on his helmet? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates and breakdowns, so stay tuned for all the latest Dallas Cowboys news. Let's keep the passion alive, and as always, go Cowboys.